Welcome to Together We Harvest. On this video, I would like to share with you 3 ways to level up your homestead this year and beyond. Let's start with the first one. We need to set limitations as homesteaders. I'm probably going to get some pushback for that one, but hear me out. Please let me explain. Clint Eastwood once said, "A man needs to know his limitations." And I think that is a very, very important thing for anybody, especially homesteaders. Homesteaders have the tendency to be overachievers. Some might even say we're workaholics. So my advice to homesteaders is to have limitations in each aspect of your homestead. Let me give you an example. On our homestead, I was really happy with 5 laying hens. They met all of our needs. We had plenty of eggs. They laid all year round in our previous flock, and I was very satisfied with that. Until one day I realized we want to have a lot more for all these other reasons. Sustainability, breeding, selling, all of that kind of stuff. It just kept going and going and going to the point where I wasn't really satisfied with 5 laying hens. I needed double or triple that. One of our favorite crops to grow is winter squash, particularly butternut squash and spaghetti squash. I'm never happy with how much we have at the end of the year. I'm always thinking we need more and more and more and more food in our basement just for security reasons, but the truth is, if we have 1 squash per week, we really need to make sure that we harvest 52 squash at the end of the year. You see, it's very simple to set up limitations, and what that's going to do for your emotional health, for your personal life, for your relationships, for your family, whatever it is, that's always going to improve. My goal for this channel is to encourage people to simplify their lives to increase its quality through homesteading. Another limitation for me personally that I'm going to start using is not working so many hours after my day job here on the homestead. So I've got a day job, like a lot of people do, then I come home and I have tons of chores to do, even on a small homestead like we have here. It really depends on the season, but it consists of harvesting firewood, splitting, stacking, taking care of the chickens, meat chickens, moving the chicken tractors, all kinds of stuff. Maple syrup season, that's a whole nother ball game altogether. But what I'm going to do for limitations of my working time is I'm going to limit my time on weekdays after my day job to working on our homestead only 1 hour. That's going to increase the quality of my life. It's going to reduce stress. I'm not going to be working into the night. There are times when I have to bring out lights in the yard, depending on what I'm doing, a building project, working with firewood, whatever, where I don't finish my work and I'm actually working after hours into the night. And I don't mind every now and then having to work extra hours to achieve a goal if something needs to get done. But I think what ends up happening is that it increases the stress. I'm not actually simplifying my life and increasing my life's quality. I'm doing the opposite. And then the weekends, particularly Saturday, I'm going to be spending 2 or 3 hours working outside in the homestead, not 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 like I've done in the past. I just think that's a healthy way to approach this. And if I don't get everything done that day, that's okay. I'll try again next time. I'm not going to rush through projects. I'm not going to create extra stress in my life. And I think that's a valuable lesson I learned the last couple of years homesteading on this property. I don't know about you and your situation, but setting limitations, regardless of what situation you're in, I believe is a wise idea and something a lot of homesteaders could do to increase the quality of their life and help take their homestead to the next level. Way number 2 to take a homestead to the next level is to put your foot down and say you are not going to buy any more meat at the grocery store. We have made the decision this year to raise our own meat chickens like we've done in the past, only eat the eggs that we get on our property from our egg layers, hunt deer for venison, which I do every year either way, and raise our own pigs. And then when it comes to beef, we don't have a great homestead set up for that. It's very bad terrain for cows. However, we do know somebody locally right down the road from us that we can purchase beef from every single year if we choose to, and it's high quality beef, grass fed. So my point with number 2 is it's okay to say no. It's okay to say I'm no longer going to purchase things that is mass produced, inhumanely raised, hormones, vaccines, all this kind of stuff that they're putting into our food these days. It's okay to put your foot down and have that rule and take your homestead to the next level. There are a lot of homesteaders that have done this already for a really long time, and I think that's a really great thing to do, and I think it's going to increase the value of your homestead. The third way to level up our homestead this year is to be more intentional about the crops we grow, because we don't want to be stressed out when we need to start preserving these crops in September and possibly even into October. As I'm sure you've experienced if you've had a garden before and you preserve your food from your garden, all of a sudden all the tomatoes are ripe at one time, it's ready to bring in the squash, you got to pick out the potatoes, the green beans are coming on like crazy, and it gets overwhelming. So we're intentionally growing things that are easy to process or preserve that we already eat a lot of. So in some ways we're simplifying our diet. We're not going to have 20, 25 different crops growing in our garden, and our garden does really well every single year. Despite the success we've had, we're going to simplify our garden by growing crops that we really enjoy eating that also preserve easily. Here's a couple examples of crops that we enjoy eating that also preserve or store well. Our favorite crop, spaghetti squash and butternut squash. We literally pick them off the vine, put them in our basement, and because they're winter squash, they last in our basement for 1 year. We have a whole bed this year just devoted to garlic that we planted a couple months ago in the fall that we expect to harvest this coming summer. Garlic lasts a long time if you store it in the right conditions. Another food we really enjoy eating here on the homestead are potatoes. Most people do. Potatoes store a really long time in our basement when we cure them properly, and we love growing potatoes because of all the different versatile ways you can eat them. Those are some examples of foods that store well just as they are. But another way to preserve food, my favorite way for longevity, well, at least up to a year I would say, it's actually just freezing. Because it's a simple process, we load up the freezer and we know our food is in there for easy access. An example of foods that you can freeze really well are fruits like strawberries and blueberries. Another food that we freeze really well and we end up getting a ton of are green beans, pole beans to be exact. So when we grow green beans here on our homestead, we want as much as we possibly can and fill up as many freezer bags as we can to pull out individual servings for each meal as we need throughout the year. And to set up limitations connecting point 3 to point 1 as I started the video, we're only going to grow as much as we think we're going to consume of those crops. So if you set limitations for yourself on your homestead, I really believe that's going to help you emotionally. It's going to relieve stress. It's going to help your relationship, especially with people you're really close to, like your family. And I've got a growing family, so time with my family right now especially is very important to me. And then number 2, we're going to be very disciplined and intentional about the meat we purchase. We do fine with our produce for the most part. A lot of times we end up spending extra money at the store for high quality meat that we can just grow ourselves or purchase from a local farmer. And again, number 3, we're going to start really focusing on simplifying our diet in terms of what we grow in our garden so that when it comes to harvest time, the end of August, September into October, we enjoy and look forward to the harvest. I love the harvest, but sometimes I get overwhelmed, I'll be honest with you, with preserving all of it. We end up filling up our island in our kitchen, a kitchen table, we've got stuff down in our basement in the corner. It's a little obnoxious and overwhelming with all of this produce we end up bringing in. These are just my 3 takes for what I plan on doing going into this new year. I'm sure you have your own goals for your homestead. I think it's important that we each have our own individual goals. Hopefully these ideas inspire you, encourage you to be successful this year and beyond on your homestead. I'm always up for a couple of tips and tricks you may have concerning the 3 things we discussed in this video. If you think you have anything to add to what I could be doing on this homestead, we can bounce ideas back and forth. Please let me know down in the comments so we can get a good conversation going about ways you're improving your homestead so I can learn from you as well. Thanks for watching Together We Harvest. I hope to see you on the next video.